Hey everyone, Darren Eastman here, Principal Product Manager for GitLab Runner. I'm joined today, I'm happy to say, by Gabriel Engel.
Hi, welcome everybody.
Hi.
I'm Gabriel, I'm new at GitLab, and I'm the product manager there for the Runner SaaS topic.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to have Gabriel here. As folks that have been looking at the videos might know, typically in the past, I cover things for Runner Core, Runner SaaS, and Gina Doyle, who can't make it today, she covers Runner Fleet. But Gabriel is taking over as our new Runner SaaS PM. So I'm super excited to have Gabriel, and I'm very thankful that Gabriel joined the team. So today we're going to cover the 15.10 Runner Group iteration plan, and the Runner Group is comprised, this is a quick recap, it's comprised of Runner Core, Runner SaaS, and Runner Fleet. And again, Gabriel is the PM from Runner SaaS. So let me just jump in and talk a bit today. I'll try to do my best Gina impression. I'll talk a bit about what's happening in Runner Fleet, and then I'll pass it over to Gabriel to chat about SaaS next. So let me share my screen. I think it's sharing. So just to recap, we currently have one iteration plan for the entire Runner Group. So this is the 15.10 Runner Group iteration plan. And we have sections in here for all the different product categories. So under Runner Fleet, the key new feature set that we're working on, which is a role, we started this work actually in 15.9, is the new Runner creation workflow in the admin area that supports the next Runner token architecture. And so what that looks like, just to kind of pop over there, is as part of the next Runner token architecture, we're creating this new flow where to attach a runner to GitLab as a user, you have to go into the UI, create the runner, add some fields and so forth. It's really going to simplify the management experience long term, and also simplifies the audit experience. So we made a lot of actually pretty good progress on it in 15.9, but we're not quite there. So 15.10 we'll be wrapping up this work so that at least in the admin area, the new runner creation workflow would be visible and would be available as part of the 15.10 release. So that's a key thing that's happening in sort of that Runner Fleet category in 15.10. And actually some of that work will creep over in the next release as well, because we'll have to be adding this new Runner creation workflow for our group views and for our project views. But just to recap, in 15.10, we're looking to wrap up the last bit of work so that the creation workflow is available in the admin area runner screen. So that's a major activity that's happening in terms of like new features or capabilities that's coming as part of the Fleet category in Runner 15.10. I'm just going to pop it over to Gabriel to chat a bit about what's happening with the SaaS team. Gabriel?
Thank you so much. Let me also share my screen here for a second. And then let me know once you can see it. You see the direction page, correct?
I sure do. Thanks, Gabriel.
Perfect. So that's our direction page. As you probably know, we update it once a month, and I'm going to walk you through just quickly what's happening for the Runner SaaS topic for the next iteration. You can see it mainly here on what we are currently working on. There's two topics in parallel we are working on. Top priority for us right now is to do some background work for our macOS runners to really push for making it available, starting with limited availability and then later general availability. For the next iteration, we will work together with our beta customers to get the transition done to the new M1 chips, and then later also make it available for the general public. And then second priority, what we're working on there is our GPU-enabled runners for all of the Model Ops customers out there. Perfect. I'll just quickly show also the two issues we have for both of these topics, just so you can have a quick look. So that's the first one for our runners macOS. We are currently targeting 16.2, but that's not set in stone yet. And then next one up here, I talked about the Model Ops one. Yeah, so that's about it for Runner SaaS, and then I would head back to you.
Hey, thanks, Gabriel. And that's super exciting to see all of the new capabilities that are coming over on the SaaS team. And just in chatting with Gabriel, I know there's tons more interesting things that's already been discussed and planned. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me start sharing my screen again and talk a bit about what's going on back on Runner Core. See if we can get the screen sharing going. All right. So just to recap for everyone, so run a call, that's of course the engine that could, the GitLab run application itself that enables the GitLab CI jobs to run on the plethora of platforms that we support. In terms of new features, or in terms of what we were working on first in 15.10. So as has been the case for the past at least 2 or 3 months actually, and even beyond that, we've been heavily focused and invested in working on reducing our backlog of age bugs, and that priority continues in 15.10. So as you're looking here at our iteration plan, you'll see that it's heavily.
Just interrupt here. I think you're sharing the wrong screen because I see your Zoom.
Oh, let me share.
I mean, that's maybe also interesting, but not as interesting as the iteration plan, I guess.
How's that now?
Perfect. Now.
Zoom snap up. All right, thanks. So yeah, so for run a call, as you look here, you'll see that there's a heavy weighting towards bug work, right? So we continue for at least the past 3 or 6 months, actually, we've been doing a lot of work on trying to work through our backlog of age bugs. And so that effort continues in 15.10, and we're making progress on some of the, I want to kind of term them as esoteric bugs that negatively impact the overall experience of using runners at scale. Things related to job timeouts, things related to intermittent authentication fails with the executor and so on. And so that's going to be a primary focus for us in 15.10, and you'll see that happening as well as we move into 15.1 and into the next releases. We'll continue that focus on working through some of the more in-depth and more intricate bugs that are currently in our backlog. In terms of new features and capabilities, the one I just want to call your attention to is one that we started work on in 15.9, but we're not quite yet done yet, and it's related to our Kubernetes executor. And this is the ability, adding the ability to support active deadline seconds for pod spawn on Kubernetes. So in terms of new features and capabilities, for those users that are relying on a Kubernetes executor, and specifically for those that are on OpenShift, we'll be adding this capability so that you can take advantage of the active deadline seconds feature for managing the run of pod timeout on an OpenShift Kubernetes cluster. The other important work as well that's happening in core, and that will pick up traction as we move into 15.11 and 16.0, is the next runner auto-scaling architecture. We've been talking about this for a bit. And just to recap for everyone, this is the replacement for our Docker machine-based autoscaler that's proven very reliable and sort of very, very valuable to a number of customers. We're pretty close on getting ready to release the next runner autoscaling solution on AWS, and specifically the alpha version of what we're calling our AWS EC2 feeding plugin. Just to recap, this autoscaling solution kind of rethinks the approach that we currently have with Docker Machine, because it relies on new technology and relies heavily on the abstraction layers that are currently available on the cloud providers. Abstraction layers such as instance groups, auto-scaling groups on the cloud providers. And so we'll have much more to share on that feature set as it rolls out, but the goal would be to get the alpha version of the next runner auto-scaling solution specifically for Amazon Web Services. And to be even more specific, virtual machine auto-scaling on Amazon Web Services EC2 instances would be the goal for us in 15.10. So in terms of in-depth capabilities, we're adding more features for the Kubernetes executor. And just to kind of make a note on that, in FY24 in Runner Core, in addition to a lot of investment to burn down our bug backlog, the other significant investment area for us will be on the Kubernetes executor. So it will be bug burn down, Kubernetes executor, and under that Kubernetes executor bucket, there'll be work related to the generic Kubernetes executor scaling, and there'll be work related to maturing our GitLab runner operator, both the generic one as well as the one that works on OpenShift. And then there'll be work in the future as we figure out the long-term strategic plan for our Helm-based operator, our Helm-based runner installation method versus the operator installation configuration method. So we're looking to streamline some of those things in FY24. And then the third big pillar for us in run a core for FY24 is, of course, the next run of auto scaling. So bug burn down, Kubernetes, and auto scaling. So that's it, buddy. It's happening in terms of 15.10 and run a core. Gabriel, any last words before we wrap up?
Not too much. Excited for the next iteration, and then I hope that we also can make the runner SaaS and macOS runners available as soon as possible.
All right, awesome. Well, everyone, thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time when we do the 15.11 kickoff video. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.